Hello, VC. Waxed here. I today went to the OC Orange County Record Show in Buena Park. That's near Knott's Berry Farm and Disneyland. They do it once a month at the end of the month, last Sunday of every month. And I hadn't been in a long, long while. I believe someone took it over. Maybe I went once. But it was well attended both with the vendors and buyers. So I went down there and I picked up some pretty good stuff. Also, I'm going to pepper in some stuff I picked up yesterday at record stores. So let's get to the haul. Okay, here you go. This is a good one. Joanne Becker. If you follow the Jazz Bums and I on their weekly stream every Friday night, I'll put links to sites I talk about in the description. We've discovered how awesome Joanne is, and her discography's not huge, but it's awesome. I did not have this one. This is a title that was released by Muse, but originally produced by Timeless. Timeless did a bunch of, Muse did a bunch of Timeless releases in the US. This has Ryo Karasaki on guitar and Clint Houston on bass. And right now, if you're listening to me, her stuff is not hugely expensive. In fact, Candid just did a reissue of one of her titles, Snooze. Don't sleep on her. Awesome piano player. Often plays with some top-notch sidemen. Eddie Gomez a lot. I believe Cecil McBee. There's a great album, Ancient something. But Joe Henderson's on that. That's a killer album. So grab her stuff while it's very affordable. This was not hugely expensive. Looking very forward to this one. Aft or AFT? You correct me if I'm wrong. It's a white label promo, but it's on the turntable. So imagine this. It's white on the label. I've seen this one before. This is an inner city release. I don't know if it's licensed from Drium Records Italy. So it's originally an Italian release of Ghetto Barbieri and Don Cherry. They're playing... It was recorded in Paris in 1965. This reissue was put out in 76 by Inner City in the US. It's side one's Togetherness with a first, second, and third movement, and then side two's Togetherness with the fourth and fifth movement. So let's pull out the vinyl so we can take a look. Typical Inner City blue label, and it's very nice looking. And I believe this is affordable too. It was not that expensive. I'll get into the expensive stuff. I'll tell you what was not expensive. I picked this up. So this is interesting. This is Tommy Flanagan Trio Overseas. Now, I have the Acoustic Sounds or Acoustic Productions reissue that did this as part of the Prestige 50 series, 25 stereo, 25 mono, and I believe the original pressing of that was just like once, and this was released in Japan. This version, the regular cover is kick-ass. It's green, but this just has Tommy on the cover and then Elvin Jones on the back. I guess Wilbur got cut out, but it's on this Union label. So I think this originally was released in Japan in the 60s. Yeah, and it's mono. I think it only was recorded in mono. But there you go. Cool label. But the original Prestige is cooler. But yeah, this I think was the second pressing the Japan. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I looked it up and I thought I was correct. Here's another. This is an OG Timeless title. It's George Coleman, Amsterdam After Dark. Killer lineup: George Coleman, Hilton Ruiz, Sam Jones, and Billy Higgins. This came out in '79 on Timeless. This is an original Dutch pressing. And here, let's show you the cool, that's a typical Timeless label, OG label. So nice. So it came out in '79, was recorded in '78. Killer. You can see the reflection of my ring light. Pick this up. I have the reissue of this, the Donald Fagan Night Fly, but the OG is Robert Ludwig mastered. His initials are in the dead wax. It's always kind of iffy to find this in really good condition. So this looks pretty good. I have to clean it and play it. Killer album if you don't have it. The reissue is still available, fairly affordable. So nice if you can get this. Steely Dan record, that's a Donald Fagan record, right? All right, another Inner City. But this Inner City, I'm trying to see if it was licensed from another. Well, let's just show you the record, okay? This is Ode to Super. Jackie McLean, him, and Gary Bartz, him. Who's playing on this with him? Thomas Coulson, Bo Stief, and Alex Reel. So this was recorded in Copenhagen, so a Dutch lineup. Okay, it was licensed through Steeplechase. So a lot of Steeplechase titles were issued in the US at the time by Inner City. Again, that blue Inner City label. This looks beautiful. I haven't cleaned a lot of these because I just got them today, but this looks awesome. It looks super, super awesome. All right, next, let's put a peppered record store pickup. Antonio Carlos Jobim, Tide. This is A&M. It was arranged by Deodato. Here it is the gatefold. This is a later reissue. The cover is the same, looks the same. It's just the later reissues, you could tell, have the later A&M label. It originally came out with the A&M label that looks like it's tan and has that logo on it in red. But this is basically it's an original CTI. Creed Taylor did this. Killer lineup on here. Joe Farrell's on here, Ron Carter. It's not a huge lineup. Jerry Dotigan is on here on Girl from Ipanema. The originals were Van Gelder's, but this is a Monarch pressing, which is impressive. Those pressings usually sound good, but there's no Van Gelder in the dead wax. I'm wondering if they use the original plates because this is not that much after. This is, I think, a 75 reissue. It came out in 70, 71. So I don't know if someone knows better than me that sometimes he does not put his initials in the dead wax, but I will clean and listen to you and tell you how it sounds. All right, this other one. So I have to talk. This is Bisa. They are a Afrobeat, funk, soul, jazz group. This is their first album. I think they put out 2 albums in 71, but this is considered their first. Now, our friend Mazzy has talked about them, likes them. I picked up a white label promo of one of their albums on Warner's that I'm going to send him. But I saw this today. I have been looking for it. And Mazzy was not the first person to talk about it. Look at that cool inner sleeve. And let me just show you the vinyl. A long time ago, one guy I started following, and it's on the Decca label. This is beautiful looking, by the way. And it's not, this, again, is not that pricey at all. I think I paid $8 or $9 for it. There's a guy, Il Bicho Feo. He has a channel. He mostly talks a lot about jazz fusion. But to me, I don't know if he coined the phrase, but he uses the phrase cheap heat a lot. Shows a lot of great albums that are not that expensive. And I'll put a link to his channel in the description. Go there, support him. He is the first person I heard talk about this group, this album. Let you know about a lot of killer stuff. And I've picked up, although fusion's not my strongest suit, I picked up a lot of stuff he's recommended, and he never steers you wrong. So go support that guy. All right, I'm saving some killer stuff till the end. All right, I'll show this killer one. This is an album I think everyone should own. I had streamed it and go, I don't know. This is an OG timeless Eastern Rebellion. It's easily available now. Excuse me. Thank you. I'm not editing that out. I'm real. This is an OG timeless. There's 2 reissues I think you can get now. There's a Light in the Attic reissue, I believe, and there's a Music on Vinyl reissue, I think, because they were celebrating, I don't know, the 50th anniversary of Timeless. This is a killer lineup. This has got, you got your Cedar Walton, you got your George Coleman, you have your Sam Jones, and you have your Billy Higgins. I think they did a couple albums as Eastern Rebellion, and this is a good record to get. OG, although this I picked up was not expensive. When I looked it up, an OG of this does go for some dough, north of $30. But even for that price, you should be able to get the 2 current reissues of this. Highly recommended album. Okay. Next, I picked up a Roscoe Jones and the Sound Ensemble. I know of Roscoe Jones, an avant-garde free jazz saxophonist, still around, still playing. I think he's 83, from Chicago. This is on Nessa. Came out in 80. He's on here with A. Spencer Bearfield. You got your Tanny Tabal, Jabui Shahid. I hope I'm saying everything right. Hugh Reagan. And I'm anxious to listen to this. He dedicated it to his 2 daughters, Lisa and Atla. So let's look at the label on this one. If anyone knows these records and I don't, this is kind of cool record. Look at that green Nessa label. Holding it right? Yeah. There you go. Beautiful. This is very clean looking. A big proponent. If you see an Heirs to Freedom record, pick it up. Generally, these are reissues of very hard to get avant-garde jazz titles. So this is Frank Lowe Fresh. It's a promo copy. Let's look at the label, see if it's a white no, it just has a promo sticker on the back. Fresh. It is he's on here with, it's Frank Lowe, Lester Bowie, Joseph Bowie, Abdul Wahad, Steve Rad, and Charles Bobo Shaw. These, I think they're all Art Ensemble of Chicago guys. So there he is there. So I'm very anxious to listen to this. Picked this up yesterday. Killer record I picked up yesterday. This is killer. Yusef Lateef, The Golden Flute. This is a later ABC 70s reissue of it. This is unusual for such, and I don't think Rudy had anything to do with this one, but usually the 70s one have the same covers as the 60s. Look at that. And this is a small group for him. It's him, Hugh Lawson, Herman Wright, and Roy Brooks. This is more straight ahead jazz. It's really not avant-garde at all. So it's pretty straight set. Highly, any Yusef Lateef on average, especially an Impulse title, you see it. I think as far as the Impulse stuff goes, this title is not horribly expensive to find, and it's a mono sound and beautifulness. Great. I have tons of Yusef Lateef and I have tons of OG Impulses. All right, we're coming down to the last few. This is a great one. Tommy Flanagan. This is a Phalonica. I picked this up. I might show it on the Jazz Bums, but this is on Enja, and this is a record he dedicated to Monk. One original song, which is Phalonica, here on the cover. The rest he's doing Monk songs of minor, I'm not going to go through the whole list. I'll show you. You can pause and look at it. He's on here with George Mraz and Art Taylor. So it's a killer lineup. Sometimes he's playing solo. But this is a great record. And I believe it's not horribly expensive. It's cheap heat. But I know Mike Notes and Tones loves Tommy Flanagan. And I have to concur, I do have a CD of this. So this is outstanding. And the Enja stuff, although I do believe they're digital, they're great pressings. Sound great. Okay, what do we got here? Got this one, Kenny Barron, Innocence. Smoking a cigarette. This came out, I read about this Wolf label. They only released 3 albums. This is one of them. Killer lineup on here, though. It's a little more, it was made in 78. Feels like a little more 80s modern jazz to it. But, you know, atmospheric. It's not as dangerous as I would care for. But he's got killer lineups. He has 2 lineups on here. He's playing with Jimmy Owens on trumpet, Brian Brake on drums, Billy Hart does some percussion, and Gary King on one side, or on half the couple of the tunes. The next is Sonny Fortune, Raphael Cruz, Buster Williams, and Ben Riley. So, pretty solid lineup here. Interesting label, only put out 3 albums. Again, I don't think this is horribly an expensive album. But there you go. This is a hard to get record. And the originals go for lots of dough. This is Shaheb. I know I'm saying it wrong, so correct me. But this is called Summer Dawn. This is an 80s chess reissue of this album. And even this, I bought this, but there are none of this version in 1984 reissue. There are none for sale on Discogs. It originally came out in 60, 61. I don't know if it was it was on Argo or another, but I don't have his stuff is really hard to get. Other than a sidemen, I really don't see any of his lead records anywhere. But this is a good record. Sounds good. Very interesting, but a very hard to pick up record. If anyone has this, let me know. This sounds great. This is before they did those original Chess Masters. I'm guessing it's digital because it was 84. But these chess reissues in the 80s are great pressings. They're quiet, and they sound good. So let me know what you think of that one. All right, these are 2 records that people look for. In fact, I posted on Instagram one of them, and people were asking, are you selling that? But I lucked out yesterday. I walked in and picked this up. This is a white label promo of Kenny Barron, Peruvian Blue. And this very sought after used title. He's on here with Ted Dunbar, David Williams, Richard Landrum, Sonny Morgan, and Albert Heath. And white label promo. This is an outstanding record. Killer. Spiritually avant-garde, jazz, not crazy, but just a killer record. Show you the back of it. There you go. Nice record. Beautiful. I liked it. So, yeah, the very hard to get record. I didn't even pay. I mean, it's not astronomical. I think it tends to go for around 65-ish, 50 to 60. I didn't pay that much. I lucked out on finding that. All right, and today I found this. In fact, there were 2 copies at the record show today. And then everyone I showed it to, like dealers, go, oh, yeah. A couple weeks ago, I picked that up for 10. Oh, yeah, a couple weeks ago, I picked it up for 55. That guy I sold the copy I picked up for 55 to that other guy. He's selling it for 130. Knocked it down to 110. Well, there was a private seller at the record show, came in from Phoenix, and he had, after I talked to the guy who had it for 110, I said, a little much for me. This record does go for 75 and up right now. The guy had this. Jamal Plays Jamal. I have been looking for it. I've seen it a couple times on walls in stores. I should have bought it back when I originally saw it. I knew it was a sought after record. I believe it was sampled. It's been sampled. It was when he was on 20th Century Records. This is a killer record. It's not the Ahmad Jamal who's solid piano trios. This is slightly funky, a little not avant-garde, but adventurous for Ahmad Jamal, redoing his stuff. And it is, well, I can understand, obviously, I'm sure there's not a lot of them. That's why the price has gone up, and people want it because there's songs that have been sampled. But I can understand why this goes for dough. I paid some good dough for it, but not anywhere near what it goes for. On Discogs, I've had it. Again, I'm not big on the wish list. Maybe actually it goes for a lot of money because of that suit. Look at that thing. I mean, I guess that was in the fashion. This came out in 74. It was a promo too. And here's what irks me. It was sold used at Zia at one point for $2. Oh yeah, I'd pay way more than $2. Great record. If you can find it, go listen to it. It's on you. The whole record's on YouTube. Killer record. I can see why this is one of his most sought after records. I highly recommend it. So that was today's pickups, mostly from the Orange County Record Show. I'll put a link to the show. If you're ever in Southern California on the last Sunday of the month, go. A lot of good dealers there. A lot of deals to be made. A lot of records to be found. If you have something to say about any of the records I show, please leave me some comments. Not subscribed. I try and make videos. I try and do live streams. But subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you later. The Waxed Out.